Oh shit, where'd it go? Fuck. Oh, there it is. Hey folks, my name is Jen and today I wanted to do another book tag. This one is called the bookshelf tag. Okay, so I found this tag on the Dreamland book blog. But it looks like they said they think it was created on Ramblings of a Redhead Girl. So I will leave links in the description box to those. So yes, let's get into the questions. First up is describe your bookshelf and where you got it from. So I'll do like an overview here of my shelves, starting with the one behind me. So this first shelf we got for free. Actually, it's a set of like 2 or 3 shelves. One of them looks like a copy of this. My mother-in-law's school that she used to work at was getting some new shelves, so they were getting rid of the old ones, and these were offered to us, and we jumped on the chance to have them. I have no idea where they got them from. Then my next shelf was made by my grandfather as a present to me when I was a child. I do not know what type of wood he used, but yeah, he just made this beautiful bookshelf. And this other shelf here, you can see this was actually in the house when we moved in, and you know, we kept it because first of all, why not? Second of all, it's gorgeous. Just look at the details on this. It's so pretty. This other little shelf here, this was one of the other ones that we got for free that were offered to us, and it works pretty well for my manga at the moment. And then this is just a look at the messy old like crates that I use to house my writing stuff. My next question is, how do you organize your books? So currently it depends. That little shelf the little like wooden shelf you saw with my manga in it, obviously that has all of my manga in it. The crates, that has all of my like writing related books and like notebooks in it. And then the other books get a little more interesting. I have them mostly organized by genre. One of them does have a mismatch in one area just because it's oversized books that I don't have anywhere else to store. This shelf behind me, the bottom like shelf and part of this one right here is by genre, but everything else is by alphabetical order by author's last name currently, because these are all of my unread books. These like 3.5 shelves right here. So that's how they're organized right now. I switched it up. I've had it all by genre. I've had it all by an alphabetical order. I've had it done by location in the world. I'd have it all separated by where it was set, and then within like the US, like by states and stuff like that. That was really complicated. I've had it rainbow, but to be honest, the best way for me to find things is to have it by genre. Alright, next question is, what is the longest book on your shelf? Okay, so it took a little bit of looking, but I believe, and I'm counting like all of my shelves as like my one shelf, because if I tried to answer for each shelf, it would be absolutely ridiculous. So we're gonna go by just in general. I think the biggest book, the longest book that I have is probably one of these puppies. This is a collection, like an omnibus of Sandman. This is Omnibus 2 because it's slightly thicker than Omnibus 1. So yeah, I think there's like one more omnibus as well. But yeah, so I have like these puppies, and you can see it's pretty big. It's over 1,000 pages. It's actually like 1,030 something pages long, so that's a big boy. Next question is, what is the shortest book on your shelf? So this one also took a little bit of looking. I have on one of my bookshelves several childhood favorites, and it appears out of all of them the monster at the end of this book is probably the shortest one that I have. It's like 24, 25 pages long, and yeah. The next question is there a book you received as a birthday gift? Actually, there are several books on my shelves that I've received as birthday gifts. Actually, this one was one. One of my best friends gifted me a copy of this a few years ago because she knew that that was like my favorite book when I was a kid, and my original copy literally fell apart because I read it so much. Other than that though, I also got The Institute by Stephen King. I got this for my birthday just last year, my last birthday. Next question is there a book from a friend on your shelf? Besides like this book, and one that I'm like currently in the middle of, my friend actually gifted me a copy of The Mystery of Mrs. Christie by Marie Benedict. Next question is, what is the most expensive book on your shelf? Let's see, that might be a tie, because I'm not entirely sure. I just know that these books were like more expensive than books normally are. I'm just not sure on the price. I think these are probably one example, and I think it's quite possible that this copy of Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes, I think this also is probably like also another expensive or next expensive copy, because this is like an older antique copy technically. But again, I'm not 100% sure because this was bought for me like a long time ago, and I also have this antique copy of Midsummer Night's Dream, and these are both bought at the same time. I have no idea as to the price. I just know it was more than like normal book prices. I think they were just a little bit more than like, you know, a normal book would be. Next question is the last book you read on your shelf. So I'm counting this because it technically was sitting on my shelf in my like stack of books I read for the month. That would be Dark Waters by Catherine Arden. This is book 3 in the Small Spaces quartet. It just barely came out this month, and I just plowed through this puppy like a couple of days ago. Next question is, do you have a complete series? Yeah, I do. I have Harry Potter, Alex Rider series by Anthony Horowitz, Percy Jackson series, and the Heroes of Olympus series. I also have the Chronicles of Prydain by Lloyd Alexander, a lot of May Cabot, Princess Diaries, and 2000 Where Are You, and the Mediator series. So that's like a few of the series that I have completed series, kind of. I also have like a bunch of completed manga as well. Next question is, what is the newest addition to your shelf? Again, just got this, so technically newest edition. Next question is, what is the oldest book on your shelf? If we're going by oldest, like physically the oldest book that was like published, I think we're gonna have to go with this copy of Midsummer Night's Dream. This is a copy from 1888. If you're going with books that I have owned the longest, I guess we'd have to say my dual collection of World's Best Fairy Tales from Reader's Digest. I have had these since I was an infant. Next question is, what is a book you'd hate to let out of your sight, aka no one is touching it ever? So I would say that would definitely be these two books. They're both, as I said, antique copies of books, and honestly, I just don't think that I could trust anyone with them. I'd be worrying the entire time about what condition they were in or where they might be and that kind of thing. So yeah, I would never lend either of these out, like, ever. The next question is, what is your most beat up book? So, despite these being really old, you might think that would be them. They're not that beat up though. The most beat up one I have, actually, it's actually this copy of The House of Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne. As you can see, this is a hair tie that is holding this puppy together. I tried to be so gentle with this book when I started reading it, and you can see just like pages are just kind of falling out. I have tried to tape this, I've tried to glue it. It's just, you can see all of these pages are apart and these are kind of okay. That's because this is the unread section. Reading this is literally making it fall apart. Next question is, what is your most pristine book? I mean, like I said, this recent copy of Dark Waters that I got is in pretty pristine condition. I think another one would be this copy of Karamo by Karamo Brown. I have not even cracked this open yet to read it, so yeah, pretty excellent condition. Next up is a book that doesn't belong to you. So I have several books on my shelf that don't belong to me, actually. One is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I am borrowing this from my sister. And another is It's Always the Husband by Michelle Campbell. I'm borrowing this from my mom. Next up, a book that is your favorite color. So these would have to be The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon and Mort by Terry Pratchett. Blue and purple are my favorite colors. Okay, next question is a book that's been on your shelf the longest and you still haven't read it. So, Don Quixote. I've owned this since I was 11 or 12 and have yet to read it. Oops. Of all of the books on your shelf, which was the first you read? I don't actually know which one of these is it, but if we're thinking read on my own, or even read too, I guess, but probably just read on my own once I knew how to read, it would have to be one of these, I think. Harold and the Purple Crayon, Monster at the Endless Book, or Creole. It was most likely one of these. Like, these were my favorites when I was little, so yeah, had to be one of these. And the last question is, do you have any signed books? Yes, I have a couple. I even have a couple that I don't have with me right now, but let me see. So I've got The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have that signed because I ordered the special copy. And then I also have this one, which was personalized. It is Camp Saddlebrook. It's like a part of the Thoroughbred series that was created by Joanna Campbell, but my elementary school librarian actually wrote one, and she signed it for me. So that's it for this tag. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed getting a little bit of a look at my shelves and things. I'm off to do some more reading things. I hope that you guys are having a great reading month and a great month in general, and I'll see you in the next video.